morning, students. Today we are going to see chapter 3 in 11th standard computer application. So the lesson's name is computer organization. So first of all we will see what do you mean by computer organization. The computer organization deals with the hardware components of a computer system. Okay, so this organization, it deals with the hardware components. I suppose you know what are all the hardware components. See, for example, it includes input, output devices, the central processing unit, storage devices, and primary memory. So this primary memory is called as RAM. So RAM is random access memory. So random access memory is also called as your primary memory. Okay, so it is concerned with how the various components of your computer hardware operates. It also deals with how they are interconnected to implement an architectural specification. Okay, so in this lesson, computer organization lesson, we are going to deal about how these components, hardware components, are interconnected to implement an architectural specification. Okay, this architectural, you have two terms, one is computer architecture and another one is computer organization. So this architecture is nothing but your designing part is called as your computer architecture. Okay, so the term computer organization looks similar to the term computer architecture, but computer architecture deals with the engineering consideration involved in designing a computer. Here, for example, if you take your motherboard, so there in the motherboard you will have some small components. So this designing part, so this architectural part deals where to fix those components in the motherboard, like that. Okay, then on the other hand, this computer organization deals with the hardware components that are transparent to the programmer. So these hardware components, see, for example, mouse, your keyboard, your CPU, so all are hardware components that are transparent to us. Okay, so this computer organization deals how these hardware components works. Clear? Then the next topic is basics of microprocessors. The CPU is a major component of a computer which performs all the tasks. Okay, so the central processing unit is a major component in our computer which performs all our tasks. This is realized by the microprocessor, which is an integrated circuit. So we already come across in first lesson the generations of computer, right? So in that generation of computer, this microprocessor is a small IC, integrated circuit. So this microprocessor has been used as a component in fourth generation of computers. Clear? So microprocessors were first introduced in early of 1970s. The first general purpose microprocessor 4004 was developed by Intel Incorporation. So this was the first microprocessor which was developed by Intel Incorporation. 4004. Okay, and this is a 8-bit processor. So you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 pins over here. So in this 8 pins, first 4 pins is for input and second 4 is for output. Okay, so the pins should be same. So how many inputs it's getting, and it will send as many as output which it gets. Okay, so now the Intel company's latest microprocessor is this one. This is Intel Core 12th gen, and you have 13th gen and 14th gen is under progress. Okay, then the next one is this is the first microprocessor which I said before. The first commercial microprocessor is Intel 4004. is a 4-bit processor. It has 4 input pins and 4 output pins. So number of output pins is always equal to the number of input pins. So this what I said here in this diagram when we were discussing. Okay, so it can process 4 bits at a time. So it is also called as 4-bit processor. Okay, then later on Intel Incorporation released many microprocessors such as Intel 8085, which is an 8-bit processor, Intel 8086, which is a 16-bit processor, and so on. And currently most of the microprocessors use 32-bit or 64-bit architectural processors. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next topic, which is data communication between CPU and memory. The central processing unit CPU has a memory data register, which is called as MDR, and a memory address register, MAR. Okay, so whatever the data has been sent to the central processing unit, first the data will be sent to the memory data register, and this memory data will store in a location inside our CPU, and that location's address is called as memory address register. Okay, so each and every single piece of data will have an address register. See, for example, if a person is living in a flat, okay, so if a postman is coming and searching for that particular person, he should know the room number, or he should know the flat number that where the person is. Okay, so in the same way, CPU has a control over this memory data register, and all the data will be located inside an address which is called as memory address register. Clear? So MDR keeps the data which is transferred between the memory and the CPU. The program counter, so this program counter is a 2-mark question. So what do you mean by PC? The question will be asked as what do you mean by PC? So PC is nothing but your program counter, and it is a special register in the CPU which always keeps the address of the next instruction to be executed. So what this program counter does is, it is a special register which will keep track of the address of the next instruction. See, suppose if the program counter is working on the first set of instruction, and if it is going to be completed, means this PC counter will have a track that which job it should take as second and it should process. Okay, so it will always keep the address of the next instruction to be executed. So this is the job of this program counter, which is a special register in our CPU. The data communication between CPU and memory, the arithmetic and logical unit, we will call it as ALU of CPU, places the address of the memory to be fetched into the memory address register. Okay, so this ALU places the address of the memory to be fetched. A bus is a collection of wires, and this is a 1-mark question. A dash is a collection of wires. So a collection of wires is called as a bus, and it is used for communication between the internal components of a computer. Okay, the address bus is used to point a memory location. A decoder, a digital circuit, is used to point the specific memory location where the word can be located. Right. So as I said before, each and every single piece of data will be stored in an address. Right. So this address will be fetched by a digital circuit. Okay, so where the piece of data is located, so that will be found by a decoder, and it is called as a digital circuit. Okay, so this keeps in tracks of the data and that data's address. Then the address register is connected with the address bus, which provides the address of the instruction. A data bus is used to transfer data between the memory and the CPU. So we have a data bus. So we already discussed that bus is a collection of wires. Okay, so data is used to transfer data between the memory and the CPU. The data bus is bidirectional. So bidirectional means you can send as well as you can receive data. Okay, in two-way process. And the address bus is unidirectional. Unidirectional is single way, you can send, you can't receive it back. Clear? The control bus controls both read and write operations. The read operation fetches data from the memory and transfers it to the MDR. Clear? So we'll see it in a diagram. So see, now here you have inside your CPU you have your memory address register, and memory data register. Here you have your data bus, so every piece of data which is sent to the memory data register. Okay, so from this memory data register, the data will be stored in a memory address register. Okay, so this data register and memory address register is controlled by the control unit. So from here, the main memory reads the data from here. Okay, and it is sent through the bus. So this is called as data bus, and this is address bus. Okay, so each and every data will be read, and it is sent to the control unit through the address bus, and it is stored in the memory. Okay, a single control line performs two operations. So this is the single line which controls two operations, where read and write. So always read is 1 and write is 0. Okay, so read is 1 and write is 0. Also, the write operation transfers data from the MDR to the memory. Okay, so it transfers the data from the MDR to your memory. So it reads, okay, it reads from the data from the address, and then it is sent or it is written back to your memory by write operation. Clear? So this is the communication between your CPU and your memory. So this is a 5-mark question, communication between CPU and memory. So read thoroughly. So the read operation transfers the data from word to the memory data register. The write operation transfers the data from memory data register to word. So the vice versa process is happening here. Can you see? The read operation reads the data, reads the word, and send the data to the MDR. The write operation, what it does is it transfers the data to the data register to words. Okay, so here you have a small do you know box. So if 5 volt is applied at one end of a wire, the other end also can receive 5 volts. In the same way, the buses are wires and the binary data are voltages. So if you are giving input as 1, okay, the same input should be as your output. So how many inputs you are sending, you should receive the same as your output. Okay, so that is a thing which is given here. So 5 volts as 1 and 0 volts as 0. So here you have 5 volts, so it is reading. So reading always have 1. Here you have 0 volts, which is writing process, so writing always have 0. And these buses can simply pass the data as voltage from one end to other. Okay, so this memory devices we will see in our next class, and until this you just go through the video fully, and the main 5-mark question is data communication between CPU and memory, and you have 1 mark which is here. A bus is a collection of wires, and then you have what do you mean by MDR and MAR. You will have another 2-mark question here, and this one, what do you mean by PC, program counter, and this is also a 2-mark question. Alright, then this will be asked as a 1-mark question. So what is the first general purpose microprocessor? So it is microprocessor 4004. Okay, so this is a 4-bit processor, and it was developed by Intel company. And then here you have difference between computer architecture and computer organization. Okay, so these two terms maybe look similar, but both are different. Okay, so architecture deals in the designing of a computer, and organization deals with the hardware components. Clear children? So if you have any doubts, you just ask me in the classroom session, and remaining things we'll see in the next class. Thank you.